a guy and you've never gone shooting, don't invite him to the gun club. So
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is find something that you are interested in and invite her to participate in your interests.
Right, and it could go the other way around
Or
too.
go to your
like,
favorite
it could
play.
be-
I do that all the time.
You know, I think that there's a lot of value in teaching something. I think that's really
Yeah.
attractive quality to teach someone something and be good at something. But it goes the other way around too. It's really helpful to be taught something. You know, to me, like it depends on the person. Like I think you really got to understand the person, and then you can create the best date idea, instead of just kind of one size fits all. But I like being taught something as well. I think that's good. You know, oftentimes I'll say, "What do you like to do for fun? What are you passionate about?" And she'll tell me, and then I can design a date idea based on that. I say, "Well, oh, you like painting and art? Cool. I think it'd be fun to go to a gallery." You're just much more likely to get the date based on something that she's an expert on. You know, and I think vice versa. If you're a girl, maybe you should ask a guy out to the gun club. That would be great. That would be really cool. If a girl asked me back when I was single to go to the gun club, I'd be so there. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's also important, like, not to look at your dating life and define it as, well, conservative or liberal. Look at it as, you know, what, like you said, what you have in common. Don't limit it to.
Yeah. Someone asked me
You don't
earlier.
have to label it. You know, we like labeling things.
Yeah, we did. The problem is when you label somebody, you also kind of reduce their humanity, I
Right,
think.
yeah.
And we don't, you know, I think just try to look at someone as holistically as possible. And I think a lot of times with our politics, because it's such a passionate issue, that we forget there's more to us than just our politics. Someone asked me earlier if a liberal and a conservative could actually have a relationship together. I said no way, but actually I know that was a joke, but I know lots of couples who are very different politically. We're very good friends in LA, actually very opposite. The gentleman in the back there?
Yeah. Well, how does sex complicate this whole thing? I mean, are you supposed to approach your first date with the idea of having sex by the end of it, or should you just take things as they come?
That's a really good question, actually. No, I think, should you approach it as sex on the first date?
Yeah.
That's an expectation? Is that what you mean?
Well, no, I mean, couldn't it theoretically complicate the types of things you're talking about if your whole approach is to have sex by the end of the first date?
Could it complicate things that I approach? Yeah. That's a really good
Especially if
question.
she doesn't want to do it.
No, I think that's a great question. You know, and it's funny because in my own life, years ago when I started dating, I wasn't able to make it sexual at all with the girl until like the last minute. And then like I'd be in the car in the last minute and the girl would be sitting next to me, I'd be about to drop her off at her house, and then I would try to find some really pathetic way of trying to get it going. Like stroking her hair, "You've got nice hair." Right, and then going for the kiss, and she'd like vamoose, you know? She'd be like, "Oh, I don't think so." Give me the hand or the side of the cheek. And then I realized that I should be more sexual early on. And so I swung back way too much the other way, where I think I made some girls uncomfortable. Because I kind of had expectation to sleep with a girl either on the first date or sometimes like the day I met her. And then I swung too far in that direction. So what I believe now, and it's such a good question because a lot of guys most guys I would say fall into the category of not being sexual enough. So girls will easily see them as friend material, and the guy has a hard time getting out of that. Once she sees you as a friend, and that's how she sees you, and that's the relationship, as it goes along in time, it's really difficult to turn that around. So I think it's good to be sexual earlier, but you don't want to be sleazy. So what that means is your phraseology is important. You have to tell her what you like and what you expect. I wouldn't say what you expect, but what you'd like hope to happen. So like when you ask somebody out, it's a good idea to say, "Well, I'd like it to be a date." And to say like, "I think it'd be great, we can go on this date, we can take a Polaroid camera, take pictures of each other, and in case there's a spark, I'll bring my chapstick. So we might have something. So in case there's a spark, I'll bring my chapstick, some smooching, just in case, I'm not presuming anything." Say things like that, because it shows her what you have in mind. And I don't think you have to have sex on the first date or third date, or I don't think there should be a rule about how many dates or when, but I think as long as there's a sort of a feeling that you're moving forward in a physical way of some sort, and that there is attraction, and that's kind of, I think it should take as long as it takes. And sometimes it might be like you might meet somebody, and believe it or not, sometimes you might hook up that night, but sometimes it might be 3 dates, sometimes it might be 3 months, who knows? But as long as there's desire, you know, it's building desire, I think that's the important thing. Sometimes it can be great meeting somebody and not hooking up. I've certainly met people And then I wasn't able to see her because I traveled so much for like a couple months. But then we talked back and forth, and we text and email, and then we created this sexual sort of desire and buzz, and it was almost better because we'd waited and built up this feeling instead of rushing it. And I think that's something that definitely connects with conservatives. I think one of my ideas that connects with conservatives is it's okay to wait? But you definitely do want to show the person you're sexual and you're sensual, and that's what you'd like to see happen in the future.